Greetings to another video. Today I want to talk all about balance and cycling, because I did a video a couple of videos ago, I don't know if you saw it, where I did a Zwift race, and after like 3 months of like not doing any kind of training, I wasn't as fit as I wanted to be. And in the comments of that video, I felt like there were two very distinct opinions from you lot. And I guess one half of you were like, yes, like I'm in the same boat, I've not really done any training, like it's winter, I need to get back on it. And the other half were kind of like, just ride your bike, don't worry about numbers, just forget about it, just ride your bike. I feel like within cycling, I feel like there's two with maybe three distinct groups of people, and I guess it's kind of echoed in the comments, in that you've got the people that want to train, that want to get fitter, that want to get better and use cycling as a means of doing that. You've got another group that are like just wanting to ride for the fun of it, social riding, not looking at anything to do with numbers or fitness or anything really like that, just literally riding their bikes and just riding their bike. And then there's like a really small subsection of that, which are people that use cycling for transport, so they're commuters. And I think it's important to talk about that you can be any number of those if you want to be. And I felt like it was so distinct, like, well, just train or just ride your bike for fun, like don't worry about numbers. But actually, for me, like I like being a mixture of all three of those. And yes, I'm not a pro. I'm never gonna be a pro. I never want to be a pro. But for me, like I love having like training. I love feeling fitter. I love getting fitter. And by doing that, that enables me to have more fun on the rides where it is just for fun. I guess the whole point of it is, I mean, what's the point of anything anyway? Like, as long as you enjoy it. God, did you hear my tummy grumbling? The whole point of it is that you just do what you enjoy. And as much as, yes, I was disappointed with the fitness thing, it's just because like, I just felt like, in a way, like, I've just, I don't know, dropped off a bit and I'm not as fit as I wanted to be. So yeah, on that note, I guess the end of that is just do what you want to do. If you want to ride bikes, not look at numbers, if that's what you enjoy, do that. If you want to train and get fitter, do that. If you just want to ride your bike to work and that's the only bike riding that you do that as well. For those of you that are interested in the training, because I know some of you are just like not interested in that and they just want to see me ride bikes having fun, whereas some of you are interested in the training. So I did an FDP yesterday. It was not pretty. It was not pretty at all. It was, to be expected, not as good as I've ridden in the past. But again, there's no point pretending. So basically the numbers are, so I did 20-minute effort. I did it on Zwift, went up Alp the Zwift, and my 20-minute power was 255, which I think gives me an FTP of 241. Whereas I guess the comparison is my indoor FTP has always been a fair bit lower than my outdoor one. So when I'm training in summer and I've done an outdoor FTP, I'll train to the outdoor numbers. But whereas when I'm inside, you should always train to the indoor numbers, because that's the environment that you're training in. And so yeah, just for an example, when I did my QOM up Dovestones, that was like a 1840, so it's almost like 20 minutes. And that for that whatever time was like 275 watts for that period. So that's a big difference in either loss of fitness or just from being in or outdoors. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. You just need to train to the numbers in the environment that you are training in. So if your indoor FDP is one amount, train indoors to that. If you're doing all your training outside, train to your outdoor one, because they can vary. And really the numbers are arbitrary. As long as those numbers, whatever they are going up, that's all that really matters if you are trying to increase your fitness. And I was gonna just share like a couple of tips if you wanted to start training or try and get fitter for summer. The best thing that I've ever done is actually follow a structured training plan, because I think a lot of people can just feel like they're just gonna go out and just go hard all the time, or just go hard on Zwift all the time, just do a million races. But actually you need to train for the thing that you're training for. So for me, I don't ever train for 20-minute race, because I never do those types of things. So in my training, my coach Mark always sets me things to improve my endurance, so my fatigue resistance. So I'm never training for sprints. I'm never training for that like top end. I'm always training for the long game. And that's so important, because when I first got Zwift, I just looked on there and I was just looking for, like, I wanted to see big numbers. And so I was like, yeah, I'll just do loads of sprints and stuff. I'm like, but actually that's not for me what I want to get better at. There's no point me training for that, because I don't ever sprint. Like, you're never sprinting on an Audax, are you? Or like a 200, 300k ride. And yes, you can get a coach, or there are, if you've got Zwift, there are so many good training plans on there. There's like FTP builders, there's like so many different ones. And so how I do it, so I've got a Training Peaks account linked to Mark, and then he puts my sessions in there. I've only actually found this out this year, and I've been with him for a while, and I've just realised I always used to build them up. If you're linked your Training Peaks account, your actual training session is already in Zwift. I never knew this. So you just find that, click on that, and then I just ride that on Zwift in erg mode. Erg mode basically means that your resistance and your watts are kept. You don't have to change gears to try and get to hit a certain wattage. It just keeps you in that set wattage. So regardless of how fast you're spinning. If you've got any tips in the comments, let me know. But I do appreciate the amount of people that did comment on that video and were just very consoling to me in my time of need. I never take it seriously. Like, it might come across like that because I felt disappointed, but it's not. It's riding a bike at the end of the day, and I'm so lucky and fortunate that I get to ride my bike and like have the fun that I do. So don't ever think that I'm taking it too serious, because it's not. Sometimes you have ups and downs. Like, sometimes you feel like great about it. Sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I was like a little bit fitter, or I wish I was this, or a little bit of that. And there was a couple of people said, actually, Katie, you just remember where you came from. And I'm like, yes, that is true. Hope you found that video helpful, useful. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you have, thank you very much. And I'll see you next video.